Hello everyone, it is Wednesday, February 19th of 2020, and I am going to do a short reading today to talk about the transition from Aquarius to Pisces. This is important because Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac wheel, and it is oftentimes considered closure for the last 12-month cycle that we've gone through. So I'm going to do a past and present and future reading, and I'm going to look at the energies of our past year 2019 as well as what is happening now, as well as what we can expect moving forward into the last sign of our zodiac. So let's go ahead and get started. I have already shuffled these cards and split them, so I'm just going to go ahead and lay. Okay, so the way I like to do this is I like to do the first position here is 6 months ago in the past. So 6 months ago in the past, we have Princess of Wands. If you can see this, Princess of Wands card. This is important because in the past, our drive and our motivations were possibly changed, and we had to look for something new, and we had to be pushing ourselves forward for this to happen. So maybe things that were going on were not what we were used to, and it's caused us to look harder and move more with our desire. Let's lay another couple cards. It was a time of patience where we weren't really sure what was going to happen, as well as a time that we would have been grateful for the situations going on in our life. Right now we have the Six of Pentacles here as well as the Two of Swords. Two of Swords is about patience, waiting for something to come. And the Six of Pentacles is about being grateful for what you have and celebrating what you have achieved so far, but also looking forward into the future. So this last year has been one that was more delicate in energy. There's been a lot of changes and it's been a lot of growth, and it may have been a little bit of stagnancy for people, but we're moving forward past that and we've continued to be grateful. My next position I would like to do is 6 days or a week in the past. So 6 months, 1 week in the past. 1 week in the past, we have a Seven of Wands, which is in regards to standing behind your beliefs, standing behind your desires, and standing behind your motivations. You now have an understanding, or previously in the last week had an understanding of what was important to you, and you found yourself having to fight for that. Maybe to other people, maybe to yourself, some form of conflict was going on there. In the past week, it's also been a time where you started looking at new possibilities for money more heavily. Maybe your mind is starting to change a little bit as to what you're doing for finances now, and you're starting to look more heavily into what that is. That is from this Prince of Pentacles, which is more about being strong, looking for what can fulfill you financially. Also the Tower. So in the past week, there's also been a big change. I know I felt this change in my past week as things have been kind of steadily changing for me over the last month or so since the beginning of 2020. But last week was by far the biggest week energetically that I have felt a change. And this has not been as much outside as it has been inside. So I may believe that this last week was more about our inside starting to reflect the changes that are happening on the outside in the world around us. So energetically, our self is starting to catch up to our environment, which always takes a little bit of time. So 2019, so much stuff changed and there was so much waiting going on. Now in this last week of 2020, we are starting to mimic our surroundings and match it so that we can be equal and grow from there. Currently in present, we have Four of Pentacles, which is about stability, It can also be as a negative aspect about greed, but it is more about finding the stable part of your life and your finances. So with all of this movement and change happening in the past, presently what we're looking for is just stability. We want to have firm ground and a firm standing. In the past, with all this change that's been happening, we had the Princess of Wands 6 months ago, but currently have Queen of Wands. So the energy has grown. So we have moved and grown to understand what our motivations and desires are and what leads us through life. So presently we are using those to become stable in our finances or in what creates achievement and success for us. And currently we may be looking at things going on around us in our jobs and seeing it possibly negatively. Our thoughts related to our jobs may be pinning us down and holding us back. This could be the people in our jobs giving us negative energy, or this could be our own minds giving us negative energy in reflectancy of our jobs. We're wanting stability right now very badly, and that is on our minds completely. So it is not a good thing to be focusing on the negative aspects of our jobs. It may be something that leads us to another change of job or occupation in the future. But as of right now, we're really looking for that stability. So moving forward into Pisces with the cusp, what's going to come next is Princess of Pentacles, which is once again about trying to find that new thing. We had the Prince of Pentacles in the last week, and now we're going to continue forward in the future week, have a Princess of Pentacles, which is more looking for new ways to fulfill us and looking for new ways to have stability financially. The second card I lay here is the Eight of Pentacles, which is in regards to money again and finances again. So this is a very important reading as far as money and finances, because almost everything is about finding stability and what relates to our money and our pocketbooks here. This 8 is more of a nurturing card. It's like, I already have achieved what I need to achieve, and now I need to watch over that and nurture that so that I can continue to grow my money. Now, in the past, we had a lot of changes with our finances going on. So since we are looking for stability right now, we are now in this nurturing, or in the next week, we will be in this nurturing frame of mind to really try and build our finances back up. We also have the Two of Cups, which is in regards to lovers. It is also in regards to anything that brings you love in your heart. So if we're looking at it from a money standpoint, it might be that we're looking more towards things that can bring us success, both in our heart and in our pocketbooks. So that is what the next week energy will be going into Pisces. It'll be some more clarity as far as our finances and looking for stability. And in the next 6 months, within 2020, we are going to have to make a decision with our motivations. There are at least 2 things that are driving us right now, and it's going to cause us to have to choose. We're going to want to choose what is emotionally fulfilling for us. That is what we've been looking for. This past year has been all about dirty money and maybe things not happening the way we want it to be. Achieving some success and being grateful for that, but now looking for things that can provide a wholesome value to our lives and not just the dirty money essence of it. So now we're looking between 2 decisions. And the last one is Five of Cups. So we have literally a decision between things that fulfill our hearts and things that do not fulfill our hearts, things that uproot our hearts. And this is probably in regards to money. I believe in 2020, we are going to be trying to find alignment with our hearts and our finances. No longer are we going to put up with things that do not feel good just to make a buck. And we're going to have to look much harder in order to achieve this, because it's easy to find a job or a career in something that doesn't necessarily fulfill us. It's much harder to find that career that is wholly satisfying to us in our whole beings. So that is what we're going to look at going into these Pisces on the 22nd of February. So I hope this was helpful to you. If you like what you see in this reading or hear in this reading, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.